In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front wheel bearing on this INFINITI FX35. Let's get into it. Just going to use a straight blade screwdriver, take off the center cap. Using a 21mm socket, take the lug nuts off. If you have a wheel lock, you're going to need the key. And slide the wheel off. Now you want to remove the wheel speed sensor. There should be a bolt right here. You're going to use a 10mm socket. Take that bolt out. It's missing on this vehicle. And grab the wheel speed sensor. I'm just going to use some pliers. And you just want to rock it back and forth a little bit. This one is going to break. And you should, normally you should be able to slide the sensor right out. This one obviously is broken. We're going to have to drill that out. But get that out. We're going to take the caliper and bracket off together. I'm going to use a 19mm socket. Take these bolts out. Slide the caliper off. Use a brake caliper hanger. And just hang the caliper from the coil spring. Take the rotor off. Using some side cutters, take the cotter pin out. Using a 32mm socket, take the axle nut off. There's a washer there, you want to take that off as well. Take that off. On the back side, we're going to take these 4 bolts out. There's 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Use a 19mm socket. Now I'm going to take the hammer, just give it a tap on the back side. Separate it from the knuckle there. It's starting to loosen up. You could always use a slide hammer if you choose. There you go. And it slides right off. I'm going to take the rear shield off. We're going to reuse this. Just try not to crumble it. Just going to pry it off with a screwdriver. There we go. You can clean this up with a wire brush if it's a little bit rusty. Then I'm just going to put a thin coat of anti-seize, just where the hub's going to sit. I'll just do it right there as well. All right, that looks good. The backing plate Shield, put that on. Before I put this on, you want to make sure where the top part where the sensor is going to go in. So that's going to be right there because there is a little guard on here. So it's going to go in like that. If you're on the other side, just make sure that's up top. Slide this in position. Lined up, and get the bolts in from the back side. Get those all started. All right, we'll tighten these down. Now we'll torque these bolts to 77 foot-pounds. Take the washer, put that on, put the nut on. Snug that. And I'm taking a pry bar in between the studs. It's going to prevent the hub from spinning. And we're going to torque this nut to 203 foot-pounds. Take a new cotter pin, slide it through, and with some side cutters, just bend it over. You can trim the excess. That's good. Put a thin coat of anti-seize on the hub surface. The rotor on. Just going to take a lug nut temporarily just to hold the rotor on so it's a little bit easier. Take the hanger off the caliper. I'll line this up over the rotor. And get the bolts started. Tighten these down. And torque these bolts to 116 foot-pounds. You can take the lug nut off. Take the wheel speed sensor. Slide that in place. Take the bolt, get that started. And we'll tighten that down. We're going to torque that to 57 inch-pounds. That's good. Put the wheel up. The lug nuts on. Now we're going to torque the lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Go around again, double check. Take the wheel lock key off if you have one. And on the back side of the center cap, you can see where the valve stem is. Line that up. And push it in place.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.